Hey folks, this is BestInSlot and welcome to Skull Island. This is a really cool new map build by Pegomastax. I will link it down below. It's a Nexus download, grab it for yourselves. And it is a map, a film-accurate rendition of Skull Island from Kong Skull Island, the Monsterverse film. I'm actually going to try to show you this overview if possible. You can kind of get, oh god, you can hopefully get a bit of a feeling there if I bring up the map side by side. It's hard to fit it all in. We've all been there, but it's a very accurate rendition. I'll tell you what, I'll bring up Pegomastax's photo instead. You get a really good feeling for how accurate the topology of this map is compared to the real thing. Now, one of the interesting things about this is of course based on the Kong Skull Island map, the Monsterverse version. I can't remember who directed that. But, of course, we have King Kong 05, the phenomenal Peter Jackson film, one of my all-time favourite films. And all the mods for this game, all the mods for Evolution 2, all the new species mods are actually based on 05 King Kong rather than... There's not really any for the Monsterverse at all. They were all for the 05 King Kong. In particular, a fantastic Skull Island pack by Master Duke. So... we've got the Kong Skull Island topology and morphology of the island, but it's inhabited by all the creatures from King Kong 05. It's kind of a fusion of those two different canons, which is a pretty interesting idea. You can see they're taking it right to the edge. You just got to kind of ignore the outskirts. It'd be really cool if one day we could have a map that was just nothing but plain water. I don't know if that's within the realms of possibility, but if we could just see nothing but water all the way around and then build on an island, that'd be awesome. Right, so since there's no buildings or anything, there's a couple different ways we could tour this. Now we've got the Jungle River Cruise ride going down here, which makes a lot of sense. That's going to go tour the whole thing. But I thought the coolest way to do this might actually just be to take a helicopter ride and fly over the island and, you know, kind of Jurassic Park 3 style and see what we can see. So that is what we're going to do. Okay, here we go. A very haphazardly built an operations thingamajiggy, a response center, and let's just have a little fly around the island. This is already pretty cool. This is already giving me Jurassic Park 3 vibes. Let's see what we can find. There we go. There's our first of the new species. I do not remember what you are called. I checked. This one is the Avaurusaurus, a semi-quadrupedal omnivorous spinosaurid. And this one, of course, didn't make it into the film. You won't recognize this from the 05 King Kong film, but it was in the World of Kong art book, which is this beautiful hardback tome that goes for over £100. It's super rare, but hey, there you go. Actually, tell you what, we can zoom in a little bit. There you go. Hello, buddy. Our Spinosaurid there. I wonder if it is actually omnivorous as well. I can't remember if they changed that, but very cool. Okay, I'm going to leave you to it. There's multiple new species we can check out. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 species in total, something like that. Let's have a little poke. Follow the boats along the coastline, and then we'll head inland in a little bit. It looks really good though, doesn't it? The sort of the landscaping is really top notch. Oh, I see something over there. I see something large over there. You know, we've got this kind of arid bits over here using the fiery burnt out trees from the Dominion DLC and stuff like that. And then as you get inland, it gets a little bit less flat, a little bit more hilly, and the trees start to build up a little bit. It looks really good. That's another Avaurusaurus. Oh, over there though, we have a Venatosaurus, which is basically the large Dromaeosaurid for the world of King Kong 05. You two squaring up to each other? You might be. You look okay for now. Hello. I mean, what a cool way to tour. I like it. Look, everyone wants to tour in Jurassic Park in the cars, yada yada. But what a cool way to experience Jurassic Park this would be, or anything like this. You know, maybe not with a gun in your hand, but other than that, flying around in a helicopter. Jurassic Park 3 style. Wait, why Jurassic Park 3? They don't fly around in a helicopter in Jurassic Park 3. No, ignore me. I don't know why I've got that in my mind. Here we go. We've got this flat plain area over here on the right. And let's... I might start doing more tours like this, honestly. Let's head inland a little bit. Again, just beautifully done. Really nice mix of foliage. Really feels very cool to fly around. Even if you're not seeing any dinosaurs, it feels quite exciting to explore for me. But I'm a giddy child. Anything to do with King Kong 05 in particular makes me very happy. So here we go. There is a herd of Brontosaurus. Brontosaurus, of course, seen galloping around in the 05 King Kong film off the edge like absolute maniacs when they were getting hunted by the Venatosaurus that we just saw. There we go, Brontosaurus. Funnily enough, Brontosaurus, when this was made, when King Kong 05 was made, Brontosaurus was not valid. Oh, and over there we have a Ferrocutus. That's actually from a different mod entirely. This was a ceratopsid from Skull Island. It's actually in the film, but if you don't recognise it, it's because you haven't seen the extended edition. The extended edition adds 2 new creatures. It adds the Ferrocutus, this humpbacked, dramatically crested ceratopsid. Well, let's hop into photo mode. There you go. This humpback dramatically... Oh, it'd be nice if I could hide... Oh, I can. The humpback dramatically crested ceratopsid, and it also adds this aquatic creature that you do battle with that we had something similar with in the King Kong 05 game, which is also one of the best, and you can view it right here on the channel if you're curious. There we go. It's a herd of brontosauruses. So we've seen, actually, all the species except for one. Somewhere out there in the woodland is a V-Rex, and we shall find... This looks fantastic. I mean, it's just such good variation in the foliage and the terrain height, and look at this. That just makes me giddy. I don't know why. That just makes me so happy. Is that a V-Rex? I think that might be a V-Rex. We have a V-Rex. Here we go. I don't know if I want to be this low to the ground. There you go. So V-Rex, of course, the Tyrannosaur equivalent, of course, for Skull Island. Whoa, Nelly. Whoa, whoa. There you go. Beautiful. It's funny because I love the V-Rex design to the point I actually made it in ZBrush fairly recently. You know, made my my version of it and did like a little art piece for the V. Oh, hello. Did a little art piece for the V-Rex. I think if it came out now, maybe people wouldn't be a big fan. It's got a lot of problems people associate with like modern dinosaur design in films and stuff like that. Well, at least the basal morphology is okay. Everything else is then accentuated, but it's got this big, bulky head, this triple ridge spine, or more like a pentuple ridge spine down at the back, and it sits. It sits. Hello. And there was a Ferrocutus over on the other side. I wonder if dinosaur combat is turned on. I have seen Venatosauruses beating on each other. I wonder if food is off instead. Let's get a little bit higher and see where we are on the island. So you can see how it kind of... The middle stretch of the island from over there down along here is quite dense woodland. There's sort of patches every now and again where it kind of chills out a little bit. I don't know how you'd equate this to the Kong Skull Island film. This could be the region like over here, maybe? Was there a burnt out region? This could be the region with the skull crawlers and stuff like that, you know, that kind of burnt out arid sort of place. This sort of more densely populated, more rainforesty area could be where they got attacked by the arthropods that were slinking down from above. Of course, there was a lot of time spent over at coastlines and stuff like that. I don't know how accurate the film was to the map that the film has, and whether that's something you can actually track, but it's definitely accurate to the canon map that was in the film, so that's pretty cool. There's a little Ferrocutus there, just hanging by the boats. It's a shame you can't ride the boats. I have tried, I don't know why it doesn't want to work for me. What we can do, however, this might be a cool way to... let me just bring up my OBS again so I know what I've been doing. This might be a cool way to do things. Of course, we've got a new... I don't know why I'm pressing this button. If we just press C and then we go into camera type cinematic, go for a short timer, camera mover automatic, include all things, hide UI. I've been integrating this a little bit more. It's like a pretty cool way to start experiencing the parks. Unfortunately, we're facing completely the wrong way here, but the new camera this was added in the last update, it kind of toggles between dinosaur views and guest views and ride views and a sort of overarching above views like this, and I think it's a pretty cool way to round off a park tour and get a little closer to the dinosaurs as well, which we don't often do. You know, it's funny, I quite like the even a helicopter view, even better. Very cool. I quite like the surrounding landscape. I went to when I was in Nicaragua, I went to Lake Ometepe. I believe that's the correct name, God. And in the middle of Lake Ometepe is the island Ometepe. And when you stand on the island, you can just about see sort of the land. The lake is so big that it kind of feels like you're in the ocean, but you can see the land at the other side. So you can kind of pretend that this version of Skull Island is contained within Lake Skull Island, Lake Skull, you know, and then this island in the middle is Skull Island that rests upon the lake. But yeah, either way, obviously because there's no buildings and stuff like that, there's not a humongous amount to say about this one. but looks really good. You can see some of the natural features that you do spot in the film. Got all the species there. It's a shame that we don't have creatures from Kong Skull Island. Of course, that would be more appropriate, but if you look at the design of the Kong Skull Island creatures, you can kind of see why. '05 King Kong had lots of dinosaurs that, whilst maybe over the top, had fairly naturalistic proportions. Kong Skull Island has skull crawlers. Like, how do you fit a skull crawler onto an existing rig in Evolution 2? You probably don't. That's going to take some hard work and some rig editing and stuff like that. So that's maybe something for down the line. Obviously, I think a lot of us would love a skull crawler in the game. I love that there's tons of brontosauruses, because of course there was. Just imagine Jack Black running through the herd there, getting pelted. That's Kong Skull Island. And Peter, you know what that is? That's Peter Jackson's Kong Skull Island. There you go. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you lovely folks very soon. Cheers, much love as always. Bye-bye.
Rainbow Road.